Nothing like a breath of relief to start a nice video. What's up, guys? It's your boy OHR Gaming here, and let me go ahead and start off. We are about to get into the boss fight, the same boss that was at the end of last video. So if you haven't watched the last video, aka the first video of the series of Bound by Flame, go ahead and go and watch that, because honestly it was really funny, and it wasn't just me, like it was actually funny as from the gameplay. So I strongly suggest you guys watch it so you guys can catch up. It's only an hour and 6 minutes, I believe. I had to go to work, so I cut it short. So we're starting off with the boss fight today, reversing the Juggernaut. Freaking again, if you're in here, go ahead and leave a comment. This game has multiple choices while you go throughout the game, so
Ankus
like,
Bay Matum request Bay Oho Act Caro please Bay Myuid 13454811782.
what? Bitch, what? Hold on. I'm actually about to go to the comments so I can read what they just said. Who was that? I don't know who you were, my guy, but what's up, bro? I'm gonna try to translate that. We're gonna go ahead and get in there, guys. Yo, this shit's about to be lit as hell. This shit's about to be so lit. So, the temple on the top of the world, phenomenally powerful. The sage beast's fists and feet can destroy the For you guys can pause it. Luckily, I gotta go back in the video, watch it later. Oh shit! Oh, I'm already back. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm not sure if I want to swing faster. What's craft do? Oh. Oh wow, you can't actually do anything to the other one. I want to make the attack speed faster. Damn. I'm missing shit. Oh. What the hell is this? Oh, I like that. That was way better too. Big bet. Physical damage 1 or nah. Oh, I don't have it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wait. I don't know, should I buy this just cause? F it. No, go up. Fuck. We gotta make sure we're fully pipped out for this fight, no cap. Oh, I'm out of points now. Alright. Well, y'all ready? Hold up. I'm about to put this link out. So people could watch. If you guys know anybody who likes watching gameplays or anything, go ahead and share that video, please. Please and thank you. Alright. Alrighty then. Bro, what does it mean, new level? I thought oh. Alright. I think he handled it a little bit better actually, so I forgot how to dodge. Oh yeah. Bitch, bro, he almost killed me already. What? Bruh, I wish I had more potions. Wait, I only could craft one? Oh my god. How do I get tainted blood? Oh, bitch. I think I get tainted blood from these guys, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, come on. No shit. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I'm probably fucked. Oh shit. Bitch. No. No. Bomb looks like. Oh no. Bro, now I gotta keep respecking the points out because I freaking. Okay. I'm almost out of traps too, bro. I'm in trouble. Oh, I could buy it? Thank God. Bruh, it costs so much money. You gotta be kidding. Bro. Okay. So I got free potions now. How do I shift weapons again? Shit, bro. Dodge that shit? Oh, fuck. No, no, no. Come here, boy. Oh, you ready to shoot fireballs? Okay. Oh my fucking goodness, bro. I wish you could dodge with this damn sword. The daggers barely do any damage then. Oh my god. A mana potion. Nigga's about to have to use a health, bro. Look at how many of there are. Was it healing back? Are you kidding me? My last one, guys. Bro, why is there so many archers, bro? Isn't he hard enough? So look at my health already, bro. Bruh, oh my god. Chill. No! This nigga's a whore. Bro, I'm on 1 health. Oh no. Alright. Didn't I have enough gold? I had enough gold, right? No? No? Okay. Okay. Okay, fuck. I'm in trouble. No! Oh. Where's the, get his leg? No, aim his leg. Oh, one more. All I gotta do is get this. No, what do you mean not enough matches? Okay, okay, okay. Alright. No! Oh my god. Bruh. Oh my god. I had that shit. Damn. What does that mean? I feel like I've seen this game before somewhere else that I didn't know. I'm gonna try getting more health now and see what that does. You fucking bastard. Okay, well, it's not gonna let me save here for some reason, so I was gonna try to save, so we're gonna have to try to. Alright, my goal now is to take out archers first. Or get them caught in the blast. Bruh! Oh my god, bruh. He wasn't even up. He didn't even get up. Alright, I think I like what we were doing with that last setup though. I want to know what it means by invisible. Like, am I gonna actually go invisible again? I don't know. Oh, alright, so I do really regenerate health as long as I run long enough away. So that's what I'm gonna have to do. We're gonna have to come with some strategy. Okay, then Mike. You bet, bruh. This motherfucker. Yeah, see, that's why I wish I could save it. So I don't have to go back here every time. But, oh well. Oh yeah, that potion does a lot more now. I like it. Bro, did this whole health can regenerate and shit already? Come on. Yes, yes, yes. Swing it, swing it. Yeah. Alright. Back away. Okay, now he does regain health, so... Alright. How do I go stealth mode again? Bitch. Oh, no. Heal. Bruh. Can you guys shoot him? Alright, that's it. Arthur's y'all going out. I'm taking it. This thing is literally protecting the hope. No, he's dead. Oh yeah, you're done. Finally, I did it. Yes, take his powers. That took me a while. This man just realized he's burning. What about the whole fight with the fire? If they don't have something good to say, I swear to God.
What just... How did I do that?
Captain, I think it's time we talked about a promotion.
We don't have time for this, Vulcan. We need to move out before the rest of them get here.
The passes are probably crawling with them already.
There's a passage to the other side of the mountain. It will lead us to the swamp.
I think so too.
The swamp? Oh, that sounds fun. Hey, did anybody see what I just did to that huge fucking monster? I mean, seriously. I fried that thing. I saved our asses, and you're all just, hey, what's for lunch?
Bro, this is
I
funny.
said shut it, Vulcan.
I love this game. Bro, just like I said, I better get some credit, something that he got nothing. My character got heated. They ain't getting no promotion. They ain't getting no credit. What the hell is that saying? Well, I guess they took over the castle and now they're after us. Oh, he's stalking me. That nigga wants our asses. Bro, you see how motivated he looks? And he's dead. It looks like it's a dawn of a new beginning for him. Man, I can't believe it. So that did take a while, but we finally did get through it. We did it.
Thou hast fled.
What the...
Thou didst hold the power to face the necromancers, yet thou didst flee.
I had no choice.
No choice. Hast thou even thought of choosing? Thou art fled like a thief, and thou hast left me, the shadow of myself, trapped here in this prison.
I did not create this situation. I'm not even sure I understand what has happened.
The hour for questions is past. Thou must act. It is I who will suffer for thy cowardice. I who will pay for thine fault. I who will face extinction. And if I must die, if the flame is extinguished, our world will die as well.
I will not let the flame die. I am in a war against these necromancers, and at last I have the power to fight them.
What dost thou hope to accomplish in this ridiculous human shell? As it is now, it is useless to us. The flame is not a toy for mewling infants. It exists to reign. Its power must not be stolen from thee. We must reconquer the world heart as swiftly as we may.
Hey, Vulcan, enough of your daydreaming. Move your ass, huh?
Buffalo.
Okay, that's cool. So now I can just, I don't need a torch, I could just fucking light up shit. That's cool.
Vulcan, you hear me? Pull your finger out.
Huh? Yeah, I hear you. My head feels like a bomb went off in it.
Well, shake it off. We're still not at the end of this stinking swamp, and I'm not gonna carry you all the way to the village.
Anyway, how come Hawk isn't the one with me here? He's the lead scout. I always go with him.
Hawk is covering the back of the line, so this time, I'm the one who goes with you. You'll get over it.
Let's go.
You lot are about as discreet as a herd of hunchbacks.
I thought that elves were supposed to have superior eyesight. Do we look like stiffs to you, dickhead?
Not yet. But with an arrow sticking out of your throat, I'm certain that even a chatterbox like you could do a passable impression.
And you'd be the next one down.
Possibly. Perhaps I should aim for the largest target first.
Not if you want to keep both your balls.
What have we here? Buffalo in person. Well, that's a good sign.
So he knows who he is.
What's going on here? Who's the scrag with the pointy ears?
Thanks for noticing. I try to keep them sharp. I am called Relmar. And I gather the red-faced fat belly with the filthy beard is none other than the famous Elric, leader of the Freeborn Blades.
They call me the captain.
All the Freeborn
So
Blades
then,
call you Captain Elric. I have no doubt that they do. As for me, I've never had much interest in titles or in military protocol. I judge people by their deeds.
And what are you doing down in the swamps, besides threatening honest mercenaries?
Looking for you. Well, I began by searching for the Red Scribes. Prince Arundel is wounded. We had to withdraw to Valvanor, where I learned that you were expected. I just wanted to make sure you found your way there.
This is not my first walk in the wilds.
Honestly, this
asswipe.
sounds fucking
As you can see,
shady.
I'm on the right path, and we've nearly reached our destination.
Captain, those creatures I told you about this morning are gathering nearby. They're probably getting ready to attack us.
Ah, well those are called chrysalids. They wait until they have gathered enough numbers, and then they overwhelm you. And it would seem your little group is attracting a whole swarm to the village.
Well, we'll give them a welcome.
Actually, in spite of themselves, these creatures do an excellent job of keeping Dead Walker scouts away without raising any suspicions. If we allow them to gather here and then massacre them, I fear we'll be moving their territory a bit too close to Valvanor, which will lead to our being discovered sooner or later. I suggest we send 1 or 2 men back. This will keep them separated and occupied, while the rest make it to the village. I'm ready to volunteer, if you fear I might try and slip away. I know the area well.
Sounds like a plan to me. Vulcan, you're on it.
I want to go too. The animals and plants in this swamp are extraordinary. And the venom of these chrysalids seems very interesting. I'd love to get a chance to observe
my
them
player
more
looking
closely.
like, bitch, you know you just want to come
Sybil,
hang
that
out
is
with me.
out of the question. Have you lost
But
your
you see her
mind?
looking at her dad.
It's too
like,
dangerous.
Daddy, don't say nothing, just let me go. I wonder...
Come on, let her off the leash. It'll be good for her. I promise I'll bring her back in one piece.
Vulcan, rule number 2.
We'll see you at the village.
Sybil!
See you later.
Rule of 2. Don't fucking my daughter. That's exactly what it is, man. It has to be. Bitch, I've already been in that skill tree. Y'all slow. So we're gonna go ahead. Get my damage up. yep. I guess that's what we're going with.
They're all around us.
Oh. Wait a minute. Hold on now.
I have to make some notes on it.
Bro, what the fuck? I'm not gonna lie, this might have been the worst idea I've ever done. Did she just die? Oh. Did she just fucking die? Nigga, I'm really trapped in the corner by these fucks. Bro, you gotta be shitting me. She just died. And now I died. I should've picked the other dude. He's got the bow and he knows the area. What? This is what I'm talking about. Litter off the leash. What the fuck am I talking about, nigga? Oh my, bro, that just got killed so fast. Like, a bit. Oh my lord. Yeah, I'm about to say we gotta I thought I was gonna get both, like, I thought I was gonna get the other dude and we would just bring her along. I didn't realize this is what's gonna happen. Shit. Alright, L2. Gonna make that. Let's make this. Yeah, I think that triangle. Let's leave it like that for now, I guess. But if I need to use the Guardian Flames, I'll just hit L1.
They're all around us.
Die, bitch.
I have to make some notes on it.
You gotta heal yourself, ho. What? Bro, this is what I'm fucking talking about, bro. How you got? How? Nigga, I should take the fruit, nigga. What? Can I make more potions? Did I get any gold? Yeah, you know what, guys? Cap. Next video, a nigga might be stacking bread.
They're all around us.
Fuck, switch. Oh my. Bruh, now I gotta reset the skills and everything, bruh. Like, ugh. Fucking heck. Please stop. Stop. Oh my god. Heal. Bitch, heal. Heal us. Oh my god, you're dumb. Dumb hoe. Okay. But this shit's pissing me the fuck off, bro. What the fuck? There's no reason I should be dying right now. We literally just got on to the next thing, bro. The beginning of the next chapter, bro. What? Damn, bro.
They're all around.
I'm about to spam magic. Bruh. At this point, I'm about to try to run.
They're all around us.
Run, bitch. Just run. Where are you going? Oh my god. How many of them are there? Let's look. Let's try to run.
I thought that nature had taken over again here in the swamp.
Oh, we could just run? Oh, thank God. Thank Mother God. Let's just run. fuck, bro?
They're all around us.
Run.
I thought that nature had taken over again here in the swamp, but I sense there is something else. I don't think this is the right direction.
Well, certainly most not. Thank God I could stay in stealth this whole time, bro. This is clearly something extra.
This is not the time for a walk. I should meet up with the others at Valvanor.
Alright, so this is something I could go to later in the game. Let's fade. Oh yeah, that's most definitely a better sword. And it weighs less. Alright. forgot I got new daggers. I need a helmet.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What do you want to know?
So Alas is your father?
Yes. And yes, he is the leader of the Red Scribes.
That's handy for you.
You are so predictable. Daddy's little girl can do whatever she wants, right? Don't fool yourself. I'm endlessly having to prove myself more than any other scribe. My father doesn't treat me better than the others, and I expect no less from him.
At least that explains why you look like you just stepped out of a library. I guess he encourages you?
Yes, of course. But I'm big enough to make my own choices. Knowledge fascinates me, and I suppose it would have been like that whoever my father was.
Can you tell me more about your order?
Of course. The Red Scribes are an order of sages. Our quest is to find the answers to all the great mysteries of this world.
And so you know about magic?
We study magic from an essentially theoretical viewpoint, but we're not an order of magicians. Even though some of us practice healing magic, but we have nothing to do with the destructive power magic used by the Lords of the Frozen Shadows. And we know very little about that domain, unfortunately.
I see. But that doesn't mean you can't research it, huh?
Obviously, especially now. Any knowledge which would help us turn this war around would be helpful. But according to our archives, we were already studying magic more than 5 centuries ago.
Oh, really? What do you know about the Ice Lords?
As much as it is possible to know without having met them. In some ways, they're quite fascinating, even though the term might seem inappropriate.
Do they have any weaknesses that we could exploit?
Not that I know of. All of the Ice Lords are powerful sorcerers. They are far more powerful than all the other magicians. They have an unlimited army. If they have a weakness, it's not that.
But in spite of all of this, you think there is something?
I do. We often imagine the Ice Lords as a vast megalithic power. But that's not true. In fact, they desperately hunger for power. Just because they pulled their powers to create the Deadwalker army doesn't mean they like each other. Their balance of power is precarious. As soon as they are done with destroying Vertial, they'll probably start killing each other.
Sure, but that doesn't help us much if we have to wait until they're done.
Perhaps there is a way to stir up the tensions between them. Even if for the moment, I can't think how.
Where did they come from?
Most people believe that the Lords appeared recently, at the beginning of the war. But I have found certain scrolls that lead me to believe they have been around more than 300 years. They are originally from a region far to the north of Vertial. For a long time, they remained there. The beginning of their conquest is quite recent. We all think that the war started 10 years ago, but in fact, it is much longer, maybe even the last century. It took them a long time to escape from their region of origin. The dwarf kingdoms were in their way, and they put up a fight.
You had me going there for a moment. I'm sorry, but dwarves? Save it for the children.
Bruh,
But you're wrong. The dwarves did exist, but the Ice Lords exterminated them.
Right. And I bet they also massacred all those poor dragons and goblins.
You know that dragons and goblins don't exist. You're impossible.
Wow.
Perfect. How do we kill him?
If I knew that, do you think I would keep it to myself? But I can tell you this, we do believe it's possible. We know that there are 7 lords. Black Storm, Lady Crystal, Marshal Winters, the White Lady, Lord Blackfrost, the Chiller, and the Ice Duchess.
Everybody knows that. We've had our asses kicked by them enough.
For sure. But in the past, there were more of them. Some scrolls talk of 9 or a dozen, even of 30 lords. Of course it's confusing, and I doubt they would have freely given the information of how to kill one of them. But you can bet that some of them have died. We just have to discover how.
Let's change the subject. Do you know what happened to me in the temple?
I'm still searching for an explanation. Something must have gone wrong during the ritual.
But what was the god's damn ritual supposed to do?
The Red Scribes have always had quite limited magical skills. I believe that the ritual was meant to increase their magical powers to try and find a way of combating the Ice Lords. But instead of channeling pure energy into each of the scribes, the ritual called forth a conscience that settled in you.
Your father called it a demon. How come I got stuck with it?
A demon? That reminds me of the old texts, but I couldn't say if that's what it is. You were standing right there, so that force flowed into you. It could have been my father, or any of us, I guess.
Well, that's just great. What do I do now?
I would dearly like to help you. But even though I have searched through all the texts I have here, I can find no reference to anything like this experience of yours, at least for now. But until we have found out more, you must try to fight against this thing. Do not allow it to get comfortable. We don't know what its intentions are, or how powerful it is. It could be dangerous for you.
So then, any result from the study of all these creatures of the swamps?
Well, I'd really like to meet some of these creatures who live here. But for now...
So then, any result from the study of all these creatures of the swamps?
Well, I'd really like to meet some of these creatures who live here. But for now...
What can you tell me about the World Heart?
Many of the people on Vertiel believe that the World Heart is just a myth. There are many different beliefs from one region to another, but most of them have more in common than not.
The World Heart is where life and prosperity are born. I've already heard that crap.
If we were to imagine Vertiel as a living being, the World Heart is exactly what it sounds like, the heart of the world. It's what keeps the world alive. It beats, and Vertiel lives from its energy. If you wish, I can try to learn more about it. Come back and see me in a few days.
So then, any result from the study of all these creatures of the swamps?
Well, I'd really like to meet some of these creatures who live here. But for now...
We need to talk about your combat style.
We sure do.
What do you want me to do?
I know you want to help me, but you gotta stay alive to do that. Think of defending yourself a little.
You're right. I will try to be more careful.
That so I know you want to help me with this. Oh shit. Go. Oh fuck.
I have to make some notes on it.
The hell is that thing? You bastard. Alright, so that went a lot better.
I still haven't thanked you for everything you did at the temple.
Well, same here, I think. What did you people do to me anyway? Where does this power come from?
Your captain asked my father the same question. I have no idea what happened.
Oh, I love how she's in slow motion still running there. There.
But we're going to do everything we can to find out. It's amazing we have no record of
Look at that tainted blood, man. Who is that? I think that's one of the Freedom Blades. They're like Ulrich or Elric, I don't know.
Hey, this guy's fucking fearless. Let's help him out before it goes bad for him.
Despite his determination, the knight was in an awkward position. He thanks the mercenary for having assisted him in his task. If he can trust the rumors that he hears around the village, he has before him one called Vulcan. He has the pleasure of welcoming the mercenary to the village.
And you are?
The knight is called Ranval, last survivor of the Order of the Ember Knights, and now protector of Valvenor, this village. The new arrival is most welcome, but the steward is waiting in the old village inn.
Well, I must be the new arrival. Slash, I should be part of the Ember Knights.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What do you want to know?
So then, any result from the study of all these creatures of the swamps?
I have discovered a few things about the small chrysalids. They are much faster, but it seems that they can only attack from close up, using their pinchers. I also noticed that the medium-sized chrysalids were slower than small ones, but they, however, can fire tiny projectiles. The sickles have a power that depends on their growth. The biggest ones are the most dangerous. Up close, their attacks can be frenetic and extremely dangerous. They can also leap onto their prey.
This
Probably
is
should have talked to
Valvenor.
him more about
It's
whatever.
not a beautiful place, but for the time being, it seems to be unknown to the Deadwalker army.
Sure
This
looks
village
beautiful
has
to me.
known better days. Before the war, it was popular among the rich hunters who came to enjoy the ample game in the swamps. Today, the only visitors are refugees, who are sadly too numerous for the scant resources of the village. A small healing house provides comfort and succor to the injured. The knight is quite fond of Mirana, the healer who runs the place. Does the mercenary see the building opposite? It was once an inn, but it is now the residence of the steward, the man now in charge of the village.
This is a very large inn, considering the size of the village. There must have been many visitors before the war.
With any luck, we might get to sleep in a real bed tonight. How come you talk that way? Always in the third person.
The way people speak is different from one place to another, and I am from another place. The knight's people are a warrior tribe from Alganda, and he is proud of them.
Where can I find a steward?
As the knight said, the steward is in the old inn, the big building in the middle of the village.
What does the steward want with me?
The captain has offered the services of the freeborn blades to the steward. The steward must have orders for the mercenary.
Shit. I'm gonna get stuck being this guy's errand boy. Damn. I knew I should have gone with the rest of the company. What can you tell me about this backwater town?
This village is a modest one, and its reserves are almost gone. Its only strength is its isolation in these swamps, but that is also its greatest weakness.
I already figured it was some kind of shithole.
That the refugees and the villagers must live together is difficult, and the situation is worsened by there not being enough food. The swamp offers protection against the Deadwalkers, but it also harbors many dangers. Its creatures often attack the village. When the knight and the elf are not there to defend the walls, the watch often leave them unguarded. Shameless.
I'm going.
I feel bad. The boy gotta do all the work.
Here we go. Another one of these hick refugees. There's nothing for you here.
Call me a hick one more time, and I'll be using your face as an anvil.
Let's all remain calm, shall we? Please forgive my error. With all this commotion and all the thankless tasks I find myself confronted with, I often find my attention to detail slips. So, what can I do for you?
Your attention to detail slips, but you forget how to work on a sword.
Show me what you have for sale.
Gold. So vulgar to work with. So wonderful to own.
Impaler. The Pain Blade. Alright, this lit. It's better than mine. Alright, we definitely want to buy these daggers when I get the money. I'm trying to look at my skills. What does it mean, cancels the stealth penalty? How do I talk to people? I can't. Can I kill them? It's like I don't want to test that out and find out what happens.
Mercenary?
Can I do something for you?
No, thank you. I don't need anything for the moment.
I need your help. Tell me more about your order.
Before the war, our main objective in Creed was to collect and save all kinds of knowledge. We had a presence everywhere on the continent, and had chapters in every major city. We studied and preserved all possible sources of knowledge there. We also dispensed information and care. Because even though we're not the greatest magicians, our knowledge let us come to the aid of the wounded and the sick. I could of course relate our history in detail for hours and hours, but I doubt that is really what interests you.
With all the knowledge accumulated by your scribes, you must have learned something about the Ice Lords, surely.
We do indeed know some of their secrets, and a good part of their history.
Anything we could use to fight them?
We thought we'd found a chink in their powers that our ritual was supposed to let us exploit. But you saw the result.
That's one way of putting it.
That said, I'm beginning
I
to
really
wonder
thought
if
they
we
were
haven't
doing away with
involuntarily
something
brought
way
about the
worse.
conditions for their end.
I'm not following you.
What you have within you could well turn out to be their doom. Even if I don't have the faintest idea of how or why. And unfortunately, as long as we don't know more about it, we also have to fear that it might lead to our doom, too.
I'll be going now. I almost forgot. What with everything that happened at the temple. Here, I found your stone.
Great, fantastic. I was afraid I'd lost it forever. You are a valuable man, mercenary. Here's the money I promised.
I got a heart dust and a health potion.
Greetings, mercenary. What can I do for you?
Can I have a look at your stock?
The health person. I need it. I need it.
Relmar, you got a minute?
Yes?
I have a few questions I need to ask you. Elves are pretty rare. I haven't had the chance to talk to many. Can you tell me more about your people?
We are born in the trees, eat only seeds, and we spend all the livelong day singing.
I get the feeling you're fucking with me.
Perish the thought. Well, it's just that we aren't that different from you humans, despite what one hears. Our civilization is obviously a bit older, so we have had the time to learn from our mistakes. We don't really live in the same rhythm as you do. We move a little slower, and most of us are prone to having at least some respect for the past. This is the reason why we never destroy anything, that we prefer to build on top of things.
I've heard that you are immortal.
That joke has lived for 15 generations. I will never get tired of it. No, we're not immortal. We live long lives, though. Much longer than you. We are resistant to poisons, rotten food, and toxic body odor, apparently. Unfortunately, these things do not make us immortal.
Don't elves ever make war?
That's an impression we like to give other people. The fact is, we do go to war, just never against each other. You must understand that, given our long lifetimes, battles are fairly futile. This may well be what has motivated the choices of our king concerning the Ice Lords. But we certainly know how to fight, and you'll see proof of that soon enough.
So it's the prince who gives the orders?
The word orders may not be the best one. We do not submit nor obey easily. Our kings are a reference, wise men who can point out the way. They tend to guide us rather than give us orders. But to answer your question, it is his father, the king, who is the leader of our people.
You seem different from the other elves I've met. Where are you from?
Really? I seem different. And yet I have such pointy ears. And if you really want to know, I actually come from one of the most ancient and noble houses that exists. I'm even linked to the royal family. But I can assure you that I am sufficiently far down the line of succession to be in no danger of being crowned. And my reputation is no help either.
As far as bad reputations go, every mercenary has got one, so we're used to it.
Let's just say that I got into enough trouble to eventually be considered a traitor to my people. When I got involved in the war, I disagreed with decisions made by the king. He thought that this war, like so many others, would not last. That the conquests won by the Ice Lords would melt away like all the human victories before them had. But I thought differently. Right from the start of hostilities, I began to requisition certain resources I felt necessary for those doing the fighting. More food, more weapons, better armor. When my people discovered what I'd done, I was declared an outlaw, and many saw me as a thief, which, in a manner of speaking, I guess I was.
What a bunch of cowards. If they had listened to you, we wouldn't be in this mess.
I've been telling myself that for years. But I do understand their point of view. It is flawed, but not entirely thoughtless. They have had some time to prepare their forces and to learn the strengths and weaknesses of the Dead Walker army. This knowledge might allow us to turn the tide of the war, even if it does seem too little too late at this point.
Do you know these swamps?
I've been in this area long enough to have explored a fair amount of it, actually. The region is rather inhospitable, which I suppose is a good thing under the present circumstances.
A good thing? You're out of your mind.
These swamps are a labyrinth. The Dead Walker scouts will never be autonomous enough to find their way to the village by themselves.
That means we should be fairly safe for the moment. At least until a general or an ice lord comes to town.
Except that recently, there has been a change in these swamplands. And I must admit that I no longer feel safe at all.
What do you mean?
Something is affecting the swamplands, corrupting the vegetation and the animals. And I have no idea what it is. But anything that grows or lives here could become a threat. So I strongly recommend that you watch where you put your feet.
Let's change the subject. I'll leave you here.
Alright, so I'm going to drop her soon and take Realmore with me. I'm definitely enjoying the dialogue, and we finding out more about these new characters. So that's also good. I got some points. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the added protection, just cause.
swamp is our best defense. Happily, the wildlife are just as keen on attacking the Deadwalkers as they are the villagers. But the situation here in Valvanor grows worse daily. And each new wave of refugees increases the risk of drawing unwanted attention to this jungle.
No Ice Lord scouts who find this village will ever escape to tell the tale. Of that, I can assure you. Also, my men are reinforcing your defenses. Forgive me for saying, but you have some serious weak points. Especially the defenses around that refugee camp of yours.
The arrival of the Freeborn Blades and the Red Scribes has greatly improved our chances of survival, Captain. Believe me when I say that we are most grateful to have you with us. Needless to say, your men and the Red Scribes are welcome and free to go where they will. But, as for any other newcomers, our gates are closed. You must understand that our food stores are as limited as our abilities to defend our village. Until you arrived, we had but one person who was even vaguely capable of treating our injured. And the case of Prince Orendil was completely beyond her skills. And there is this beast story. Doubtless another fairy tale, the fruit of an alcohol-addled brain. Nonetheless, several of the Watch have gone missing. Something hidden in these swamps is causing these disappearances, but we cannot risk sacrificing any more of the few men remaining to us on sending patrols. Large groups entail moving chrysalids that are unmanageable. The others, quite simply, do not return.
Silence.
If I were to listen to everyone, I would need 10 times the number of men I have to verify the truth of every tale.
Enough. You must aid me to do this. I am not able to do that. Your endless wailings are unbearable.
In the name of... Vulcan?
But by the gods, man...
There's no more Vulcan, bitch.
This world is condemned. The cold hath invaded its ground, its souls, and its heart. Yet here you stand, weaving your limbs like fish taken from the water. Miserably shuffling about to conserve the illusion of warmth and life, and not feel the passing of your last breath, while I must endure your wailings and lamentations. Pitiful.
Vulcan, stop this nonsense immediately.
It is not he who speaks. All doth fall to ruin about you, yet you still bewail your loose bowels and vomitings. You cannot vanquish your dead walkers, no more than you can vanquish their necromancer masters. They draw their power from the very heart of the world. They drink it, they suckle it dry. Your only chance to cleanse what your own hath corrupted is to go to the World Heart and liberate it from its servitude.
The World Heart is a myth, a forgotten fairy tale, no more real than dragons or dwarves.
A myth. Continue hiding behind thy puny barricades, and thou wilt soon join thy myths and fairy tales.
He's losing it. He's losing it, guys.
Cease your pretense. I know you have returned to consciousness.
What the hell happened? I was just listening to the steward blabbing away with the captain, and then...
And then you lost control.
I don't know, it's like something in my head zapped me so it could use my mouth. But I was still there, still thinking what I was saying.
This is not the first time you have felt this presence manifest itself.
No. No, it's been there since the temple. It's also in my dreams. I think...
Interesting. It would seem that your body is host to some other entity. And it is clearly a spirit of fire.
No kidding. I got a demon in my head.
Something of the kind. In truth, I could not say what it is. Not yet, at least.
Don't make me laugh. After all, it's your disciples that let this thing out of its cage, right?
That has nothing to do with it. Do you have any idea of the implications of this incident?
If it happens again a couple of days from now, they'll all start spitting and throwing rocks at me. I guess I'll have to watch out.
I fear that is the least of your worries. Obviously, you haven't understood. The thing that is inside you, it wishes you ill. There is not enough space inside you for two souls. That demon wants your body. It will control you more and more until it has replaced you completely.
Ha! Thou thinkest I crave the body of a mortal? I am a prisoner here. My place is in the world heart.
It will not hesitate to lie to you, to tell you that which you wish to hear, so that you will allow it to consume you.
I never asked for this cage. I never asked to be forced to hear thy every thought. It is I who have been invaded.
It speaks to you. Do not listen to it. Cast it from you. If you do not resist, it will crush your soul.
Hey, take it easy. One day at a time, okay? I'm gonna take a walk.
That nigga stressing my nigga out, bro. Chill out, man. That's her dad right there, guys. I think you should stay here. I think you should go talk to your pop. Ooh, the werebeast.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What do you want to know?
So then, any result from the study of all these creatures of the swamps?
Well, I'd really like to meet some of these creatures who live here. But for now...
I'm gonna bring her one more time, and if it's hard, I'm not bringing her again.
Mr. Vulcan, what brings you here?
The captain wants me to help your village. You got a job I can do?
With our shortages of food and fighting men, our worn-out equipment and the growing lines at the healing house, I cannot deny our village is sorely in need of help. Sadly, I fear that these are not the sort of problems you're used to dealing with, unless I'm much mistaken.
Maybe I'll surprise you. I need the reports about this beast that attacked the villagers.
I fear I am unable to be of help. I'm still not entirely convinced that it even exists. All I know is that several villagers have vanished. One villager is at present in the doctor's care, following a supposed encounter with the said beast. These swamps are crawling with dangers. There is nothing to suggest anything out of the ordinary. The refugees are always inventing horror stories in an attempt to force us to open our gates and let them inside.
It might be worth checking it out. You said you lost one of your patrols, right?
That is so. You should speak with Randval. He was most anxious to go out and hunt the beast down, but we needed him here. Now that we have more able bodies to guard our gates, I imagine he would be keen to pick up the scent once more.
Alright, I'm definitely gonna go to him and
so what's the problem with the healing house?
Quite simply, Mirana cannot keep up. She spends every waking minute giving out supplies to the refugees and refuses to admit that she cannot help everyone. She thinks she's fooling me. I have heard rumors that her food stock is running low. Unsurprisingly, the crowds outside are becoming restless. I believe they wish to continue handing out our food reserves as though they were unlimited. This is not the case, and thus, it is not an option.
So, you want someone to put her down?
Why, I never suggested any such thing. I just wish she would see reason, for all our sakes. But I have asked nothing of you. I was merely answering your question.
Your guards... how can I put this? At first, I thought they were disobeying orders. Now I think maybe they don't even understand them. If you're stupid and incompetent, you should be digging turnips, not taking care of security.
You're beginning to worry me. Is it really that bad?
Are you kidding me? The state of their weapons is enough to make you cry. Maybe they'd be good for splitting logs.
Personally, I'm not capable of judging the aptitude of our sentries, but their poor results speak for themselves. Doubtless, you should share your observations with Mason, the chief of the watch. I should warn you, however, that he is of a somewhat stubborn nature.
Wouldn't be the first I've seen. I've got a few questions I'd like to ask about this village.
I imagine there are few who are better placed than myself to answer them.
How come it's you that's running the show here?
What a question. Because, my friend, someone has to. You imagine I'm doing this for my amusement, perhaps? Doubtless you wish it was someone else. The chief of the watch has trouble organizing 3 peasants. Our dear apothecary is evidently keen to give succor to any and every poor soul who wanders into the healing house. And regardless of your reputation, the people of this village would never trust outsiders such as yourself, or even the Red Scribes. So yes, it is indeed I who command here. The one-time steward of the hunting lodge of Valvanor, now leader of this shithole.
Well, hell, I'm glad we got that cleared up. What can you tell me about the people of Valvanor?
Before the war, there were just a few families here. Hunters and craftsmen, mostly. These days, they survive as best they can, husbanding their animals and digging up the puny vegetables they've managed to grow. Few dare to venture outside the walls.
No.
These woods are fruitful,
I would never
but
go
more
out no
perilous
walls.
than ever before. And most of these folk know nothing of arms.
But you've got your guards.
They hardly qualify
Dumb
as an
guards.
armed militia. Of the few that remain, most are sturdy farmers whom we have entrusted with some kind of weapon. Most of the real fighters left the village as soon as war broke out. The others died while out on patrol. The only one left here with any real experience is Mason, the head of the guard. Sadly, the man is a walking beer keg, who could not give a dog's fart for what his men are about.
Dead.
Who are all those refugees that you're keeping outside the walls?
The war with the Ice Lords has driven many from their homes and villages. Alas, it would seem that some of them found their way here. I have tried to accommodate as many as we can, and provide as much comfort as possible, but I fear we can do little more. We are reaching the end of our reserves, and relations between the refugees and the villagers are becoming strained.
The refugees can't all be dead weight. Some of them have got to be useful.
Oh, if only. Believe me, I would be the first to welcome them. These peasants have been fleeing from town to town and from camp to camp for months. The best and strongest of them perished in battles, somewhere along the way. I must deal with the leftovers. I put the biggest of them in the watch, but they are of little use.
The healing house. It's a pretty good thing for your village, huh?
If you say so. As time has gone by, the healing house has drawn refugees to the swamps in ever greater numbers, and dissuaded some malingerers from returning to their families. When it opened its doors a year ago, the sense of relief was palpable. It was run by a couple, an elf doctor and his apothecary wife, who clearly were no strangers to the healing arts. Thanks to them, we were spared many plagues. But as the war dragged on, the endless tide of refugees continued to flow through our gates until we could harbor no more. 6 months ago, our worst nightmares were fulfilled. Our elf doctor fell ill and died. Since then, Mirana has soldiered on without rest, alone. I do not know how much longer she can keep going. The refugees just keep on coming. And I fear that poor woman is beginning to crumble under the strain. It's not surprising.
I feel bad for her too, man.
We'll talk again later.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna end it here, guys. I definitely have more to talk about to some other people. I mean, A little bit of vampire action, you know, talking to a lot of people, getting some talking action in. If you guys really want, I can cut the talking or, you know, choose like when to talk and if it's really important information. Anything to cut it down. I mean, I just want y'all to be enjoying the content the most. Because I have no problem literally sitting here and playing every bit of the game out.
The Order of the Freeborn Blades is of great repute, and the mercenary does honor to its name. The mercenary's powers are both astonishing and fascinating. The knight would like to duel with the mercenary, that he may judge the mercenary's strength.
Sure, I can never turn down a good fight. But maybe we should take it outside if we don't want to break everything in here.
Wow. So
the knight is honored and bows to his adversary's wisdom.
Wait for me here, Sybil. I won't be long.
It's clear to me that what I should have done. I said, what is clear to me, what should have done was just end the video right then and there, because this would have been perfect for the next video.
He hopes that his adversary will not hold back his blows.
Oh, you can count on it.
You know what, guys? We're ending it here, man. I don't care. I'm pretty sure the game's saved. I swear to God, it better have. But it's just too good not to start off the next video with this fight. So, guys, it's your boy, OHR Gaming here. So I'm sorry I'm leaving you with a cliffhanger here, guys. But y'all at least gotta finish first and second video before I start going to the third. Sorry, and more content. You feel me? And it's plus it's like 4:56, and I'm here making content for y'all. And I got work in the morning. So, you feel me? Y'all, if you made it this far, please drop a like, drop a subscribe, and your boy OHR Gaming is out, man. So have a blessed night, blessed day if you're watching this, man. And go out and do exactly what you love. And I'm out. And never forget, be true.